And let me also tell you about what the other manifestos have to offer, whether it's the AIADMK or the DMK. I've given you the highlights of what the Makkal Neethi Mayam has offered. Here's what the AIADMK has said. The most contentious point has been their point about CAA, saying that they're going to request the centre to drop CAA, something that their own ally BJP has refused outrightly. They've also said that they will reduce fuel prices if they brought back to power. Free washing machines is something the AIADMK has promised. Free 6 gas cylinders to every household. Besides that, on the issue of jobs, the AIADMK has said that government jobs will be provided to at least one member in every household. They've also spoken about increasing maternity leave to 1 year. Students' education, on that, the AIADMK has said that we will waive off all student loans and also provide free 2G data, free 2 GB data, I beg your pardon, for college students. What about the DMK manifesto? Their poll promises talk about NEET, about abolishing NEET. They're saying they'll bring in a law for that. They've similarly, much like the AIADMK, spoken about reduction in fuel prices. They've also spoken about a subsidy of 100 rupees on gas cylinders. So it's not exactly like the AIADMK, which has spoken about free gas cylinders. The DMK is saying that there'll be a subsidy instead. A 75% job quota for Tamil Nadu residents is something the DMK has promised, much like what you see in Haryana. 10 lakh jobs per year is what they're promising. Free computer tablets with data card for students and also free local public transport for women, much like what the Aam Aadmi Party put out in their manifesto for Delhi. And let me also get you another exclusive. We've got all the biggest voices from right here in Tamil Nadu on India Today. We had an exclusive conversation with Udayanidhi Stalin, who's all set to contest from Cheppur constituency. Remember that he's been facing a barrage of allegations of being nothing but the son of MK Stalin, having not proved his credentials as a politician. So time and again, the DMK has been staring at that Dinist charge. And that's something that Udayanidhi has spoken out on, saying that he's had a very, very tough fight to reach this level. Here's an excerpt of that exclusive.
Every time we talk about Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin, one thing that everyone tags is, things have been easy for Uday. So he comes from a family, he became a youth wing secretary quickly and then he's got a seat now. Why is it so?
From outside, when you look at it, it's actually that's how it will be projected as. But it's not that easy to be in my shoes. You have to be in my shoes to know what I'm doing and how much of difficulty I'm going through. This is the youth wing secretary. I was not interested. I didn't ask for it. The leader and the general secretary at that time, Perasri Tata, they and the other leaders also, all the district secretaries, they insisted me to become the youth wing secretary. Actually, I kind of postponed it for like 2-3 months after the elections, especially after the parliament election. Everybody, they thought when I went for the campaign, a lot of new youngsters came into the meetings, and you can see a lot of new youngsters into the cadres. So they actually they asked me, they forced me to take the youth wing secretary. And after taking the post, I didn't sit at home. I started working. I started traveling a lot. The leader gave me a target that I have to enroll 30 lakh new youngsters into the youth wing. I almost finished. We almost finished 22 lakhs. We were very active.
Like 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. But we would have finished it, but because of the corona lockdown and the internal party elections, we were not able to fulfill it. After the elections, we'll do it.
Uday, overwhelming response. So much crowd, how difficult it is for you. I know campaigning is not new for you. You have done that before. You have accompanied your father. But still, now you're on your own. And people say that you're a star campaigner for DMK.
No, I did the same campaign 2 years back in the 2019 parliamentary election. And I received the same kind of the crowd. And it's actually very happy and encouraging. It will be discouraging when there is no crowd only. So more the crowd, more the energy. So I actually enjoy doing it. I interact with them. I don't talk to them. I don't talk like other politicians do. My kind of campaigning is more of interactive, and I ask questions and I try to make them answer for me. And it's a much easier for me to do this way.
So So this is your style of campaigning, which you invented?
My style, this is very comfortable for me, and the people also like it, getting interacted, answering to me, asking me questions. So in some places, they also ask me to talk about certain issues that I also forget. So it's like more of a give and take policy. I get to take new punchlines from the people.
So you get
all the inputs from, so it's more easier for me, and actually I can really know what the real problem is also.
Let's also get you the latest on the political face-off between MK Stalin and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy. There's been a lot of barbs that have been exchanged on a number of issues, whether it's dynasty politics, which I mentioned, or about also the former Chief Minister Jayalalitha's death. A number of issues that have come up, interestingly, in this hard-fought political fight. Here are some of those highlights.
The fight for Tamil Nadu is getting 100% personal. The war of words between Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy and rival DMK Chief MK Stalin is getting more fierce. In the latest face-off, Chief Minister E. Palaniswamy has taken a dig at Stalin's Trichy rally, which was attended by thousands of people, accusing him of painting himself as a youngster.
ஸ்டாலின் தன்னை ஒரு இளவயது மகன் மாதிரி இளவயது பையன் மாதிரி தோற்றத்தை உண்டாக்க பாக்குறேன். இவரு நடிக்கிறான், நடிக்கவே போறாரு. மக்களுக்கு சேவை செய்ய வர வேணும்.
This was not all. The AIADMK boss then accused the TMK of land grab during its tenure.
2006-2011 அப்ப கருணாநிதி அவர்கள் திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தின் சார்பாக தேர்தல் அறிக்கை வெளியிட்டாங்க. அந்த தேர்தல் அறிக்கையில நிலமற்ற விவசாயிக்கு 2 ஏக்கர் நிலம் கொடுப்பதாக சொன்னாங்க. இந்த தொகுதியில எத்தனை பேர் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க? திருவிடைமதுரை தொகுதியில எத்தனை பேருக்கு நிலம் கிடைச்சிருக்குது? திமுக கட்சி நிலம் கொடுக்காட்டி பரவாயில்ல, நிலத்தை புடுதா இருந்தாலே பரவாயில்ல.
The fiery war of words between CM Palaniswamy and Stalin started from India Today Conclave South, where EPS had dared Stalin for a debate. The challenge was accepted by Stalin on the same platform.
திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தைச் சேர்ந்த தலைவர் தொடர்ந்து ஒரு பொய்யான செய்தி வெளியிட்டு வருகிறார். அதற்கு தான் நான் தெளிவுபடுத்தினேன். ஒரு மேடை அமையுங்கள், நான் ஒரு மைக்கை பிடித்துக் கொள்கிறேன், நீங்கள் ஒரு மைக்கை பிடித்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள், எந்த ஒரு துண்டுச்சீட்டும் இல்லாமல் மேடைகளை பேசுங்கள், எங்கள் மீது என்ன குற்றச்சாட்டு சொல்கிறீர்களோ அதற்கு தகுந்த பதிலை நாங்கள் சொல்கிறோம்.
ஆனால் என்னை பொறுத்தவரை நான் இப்பொழுது கேட்கிற கேள்வி, என்னை அழைத்து விவாதிக்க தயாரா என்று கேட்பதை விட, தமிழ்நாட்டிற்கு தலைகுனிவாக இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு நிலையில் இந்தியா டுடே வெளியிட்டிருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த பத்திரிகையில் ஏன் தமிழ்நாடு இடம்பெறவில்லை என்று இந்தியா டுடேயோடு நீங்கள் டிபேட்டிலே கலந்து கொண்டிருந்த போது விவாதித்திருக்க வேண்டும். அந்த கேள்வியை நீங்கள் கேட்டிருந்தால் உள்ளபடியே நான் பாராட்டியிருப்பேன்.
The CM has also called Stalin a dynast for rewarding his son Udayanidhi with a poll ticket, a charge trashed by the DMK chief.
அந்த குடும்ப கட்சி வந்துவிட்டால் அதெல்லாம் அதிகார மையமாக இன்னைக்கு வந்துவிடும். அதே அந்த குடும்பத்திலே பல பேர் இன்னைக்கு அதிகார வர்க்கம் இருக்கின்றார்கள். திரு ஸ்டாலின், உதயாநிதி, திருமதி கனிமொழி, தயாநிதி மாறன், இப்படி பல பேர் அதிகாரத்துக்கு வந்து மக்களை மாற்றி வலித்து விடுவார்கள். திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழக அரசு என்று சொன்னாலே அது ஒரு அராஜக அரசு என்று மக்கள் எண்ணிக்கொண்டிருந்தார்கள்.
யாரும் வந்து எம்எல்ஏ பதவியை இந்த அணி தான் எம்எல்ஏ அப்படின்னு தூக்கி கொடுத்துடல. மக்களிடத்தில் போய் நின்று மக்களுடைய ஆதரவை பெற்று அதற்கு பிறகு தான் எம்எல்ஏ வர முடியும். இதே மாதிரி தான் நான் வந்து அரசியலில் நுழைந்தப்போ, நான் மேயராக பொறுப்புக்கு வந்தப்போ மேயராக கூட நியமிக்கப்படலை, மக்களிடத்தில் போய் ஓட்டு வாங்கி வரணும்னு சொல்லி தான் அப்போ அந்த மேயராக நின்னேன். ஆக மக்களிடத்தில் செல்வாக்கு இருந்தால் தான் யாராக இருந்தாலும் அரசியலில் வர முடியுமே தவிர.
The fiercest attack so far by the EPS came earlier this week, when he directly blamed DMK patriarch Karunanidhi and MK Stalin for Jayalalitha's death.
நான்கு தேதிய புரட்சி தலைவி அம்மா நன்மதிப்போடு சிறந்த ஆட்சி இன்னைக்கு தமிழகத்திலே கொடுத்துக் கொண்டிருந்தார்கள். அதன் மீது வீண் பழி சுமத்தி இன்றைக்கு நீதிமன்றத்தில் நிரபராதி என்று வெளியில் வந்த பிறகும் மீண்டும் மேல்முறையிட்டு அவருக்கு மன உளைச்சலை ஏற்படுத்தி அவர்கள் இன்றைக்கு உரிய முறையிலே சிகிச்சை பெற முடியாத சூழ்நிலை அவர்கள் துரதிர்ஷ்டவசமாக மண்ணிலிருந்து மறைந்திருக்கின்றார்கள். மண்ணிலே இருந்து மறைவதற்கு காரணம் திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழக தலைவர் கருணாநிதி அவர்களும் ஸ்டாலின் அவர்கள் தான் என்பதை நாட்டு மக்கள் அறிவார்கள்.
பழனிசாமி அவர்கள் இப்படி ஒரு கூற்றை சொல்லியிருக்கிறார். அது உண்மை என்று அவர் கருதுவார் என்று சொன்னால் 4 ஆண்டு காலம் நீங்க தானே ஆட்சியில் இருந்தீங்க. அப்ப என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தீங்க? ஸ்டாலின் தான் காரணம் தான் உரிய நடவடிக்கை மீது நீங்க எடுத்திருக்கணும்ல. இப்ப சொல்றேன், தைரியம் இருந்தா தெம்பு இருந்தா ஜெயலலிதா மரணத்துக்கு ஸ்டாலின் தான் காரணம்னு வழக்கு போட்டு அதை சந்திப்பதற்கு நான் தயார். நீ தயாரா? நான் ரெடி. பழனிசாமியே நீங்க ரெடியா?
The 2021 battle for Tamil Nadu is a battle of political survival for both EPS and Stalin, who are leading their parties in the absence of Jayalalitha and MK Karunanidhi. The frequent face-offs reflect the desperation of the two camps. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, one of the biggest fights in Chennai that's being very closely watched is the Thousand Lights constituency, where you have BJP's Khushbu Sundar pitted against DMK's Dr. Erilin. Both very strong candidates. It could go either way. We spoke to Khushbu Sundar. She filed her nomination yesterday, also held a massive roadshow. Here's that conversation.
What do you have to tell about this crowd that has come here to welcome you?
Completely overwhelmed. That's it. Thank you. Huge thank you to them.
And what are you going to promise them?
Whatever they want, because generally, like I've said before, AIDMK government has been doing a very good job. But yes, pocket-wise, there are little issues. And whoever I've met, women, they've been basically talking about education, they've been talking about clean toilets, they've been talking about basic facilities, water pumps, proper roads, cleanage of drainages. So that's the main basic essential problems.
The place we are traveling through, that has the Nungambakam railway station where one techie girl was murdered. So like about women's safety, what is going to be the prospect here?
Definitely there's going to be a huge input about women's safety. We are going to place with maximum CCTV cameras in my constituency. That is what I promise. Because we need to find out if somebody is at fault, we need to find out who the culprit is and punish them. And women's safety is definitely a very, very focal point for us. Thanks.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here on the special broadcast on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, getting you all the latest updates from Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Kerala. Let's now focus on what's happening in Puducherry. It's a hotly contested electoral fight there as well. And we had an exclusive conversation with former Chief Minister N. Narayanasamy, who's again lashed out at the BJP. Important to highlight here that V. Narayanasamy is not contesting the polls this time. He's, however, alleged that the BJP will merge Puducherry with Tamil Nadu if it comes to power in the Union Territory. He also claimed that the Saffron Party will overpower the government like it did in New Delhi. The BJP is hit out at the former Chief Minister over his remarks. Rajiv Chandrasekhar has said that Narayanasamy does not want to talk about his last 5 years as the Chief Minister, about his government, and is hence making up such allegations.
If BJP come to power, there will be chaos in the state. They will hand over Puducherry to the corporate houses. And moreover, Delhi, what they have done, Delhi government, the powers of the elected government has been taken away by bringing a legislation in the parliament and giving it to the hands of the nominated lieutenant governor. Therefore, Puducherry, either it will be merged with Tamil Nadu or it will become a union territory. With the powers of the elected government, it will be a lame government.
One of the things that is fairly commonplace with Congress governments and Congress politicians, that when they are called to account for the last 5 years of their performance, they will invariably switch the topic to something that is either fictional, mythical or a lie. And so I am not necessarily surprised by Narayanasamy wanting to talk about everything else accepting the last 5 years of his performance.
Now, I did mention that Narayanasamy will not be contesting the polls this time. Here's what he told us about that particular decision. He's also highlighted that the Congress will take a call post the elections on who the next CM faces.
I had a knee operation. That was also one of the reasons. Because in Puducherry, one has to go to each and every house. That is also second option. But the thing is that campaign is more important and crucial for winnability. Therefore, I have decided.
And let's round up all the other political updates coming in from the poll-bound states. A cash for vote scandal has hit AIADMK ahead of the assembly polls. In a viral video, an AIADMK functionary can be seen sending out money to garner votes. The person in the video has been identified as AIADMK Minority Cell leader GM Bashid, allegedly distributing 500 rupees with a party notice to voters at Chepauk Triplicane constituency. The EC is currently probing the matter. The Congress has faced a major setback in the poll-bound state of Kerala after sitting MP, senior Congress leader K. Sudhakaran said that he will not contest against Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan from the Dharmadhom constituency. Sudhakaran added that he did not get enough time to prepare at this constituency for elections and therefore has urged the party to exclude him from the candidate list. AK Antony has urged Congress workers in Kerala to end their rift over selection of candidates for the April 6th assembly polls and to work together to ensure change of government in the state. Antony also added that the party high command never makes unnecessary interventions in the selection of candidates for assembly polls, but admitted that adequate representation was not given for women.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.